Garden of Banban is a Poppy's Playtime ripoff. Let me explain. So this game opens up with you in a very interesting way. You spawn in a sort of office type area, very similar to something we've seen before, if I do say so myself. Now, if I had $1 for every time we've had an indie horror game that takes place in a sort of childlike area, playhouse type area, with animatronic sort of creatures like who were friendly but now turned evil, I think I'd be Elon Musk right now. We can actually find these little pieces of paper on the map as well, which has lore. Didn't really find it that interesting, to be honest. I think it's something we've all seen before. However, we kind of just use this sort of remote to then guide this drone to help us through puzzles. And that's pretty much every single puzzle in this game. Very bleak in my opinion, and also pretty repetitive. Now to get into the Poppy's Playtime comparisons. As you can see, as soon as this door opens, we get this purple or pink looking bird staring at us behind a wall. As we walk up to it, it slowly backs away. Now my first reaction was, while playing this game, is thinking of this scene from Poppy's Playtime Chapter 1 with Huggy Wuggy. As you can see, his arm slowly retracting from the door, which we eventually have to go through. Personally, I think this is too unlikely to be not inspired by Poppy's Playtime. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not completely shitting on the game for being too similar to Poppy's Playtime. If you do put these scenes side by side, you kind of get the fact that it's extremely similar to each other. Now the next place we go into is basically we use a blue key card to then activate this room that sort of looks like a playground, but actually looks pretty cool, and I can't even lie, the design actually looks original. Oh wait, never mind. Our objective here is to find little eggs around this little area to then feed to the Ophelia bird. Honestly, I thought this was a pretty cool mission. I thought it was simple, it was easy, it's good for beginner players who may not have played a game like this before, or a sort of puzzle game, to kind of get the gist of it and how to get it on. But I can't lie, it did seem a bit too simple for me. I know this may be, towards a younger audience of horror fans, like the original FNAF was. FNAF was sometimes a difficult game, but then again, it was still suited to younger fans. However, this game honestly feels like a sort of Roblox type horror game. I cannot even lie. I do think it has some sense of originality in it, but purely just this mission alone. Once you've found 5 out of 6 eggs, you're probably wondering, oh, where is the 6th egg? I was looking for about 10 minutes for it. Oh no, we just have to use our drone, click the button, and then it pops out of the slide. It's just sitting there on the ground as soon as it comes out of the slide. So once you pick up the 6th egg, you give it to the Ophelia bird, who then takes all your eggs and then coughs out a yellow key card. Now once we get this yellow key card, we use it on this little door here, which we then get the drone to break the glass off to then push this button. Now once the drone pushes this button, it activates this side door to open up, which will then reveal a hammer to take off the boards that are covering up the entrance by the bird. Now once we break down these boards, we reveal a sort of different area with a sort of bottomless pit sort of thing. We then have to reuse the yellow key card here, which will then activate a sort of ski lift type thing across the whole bottomless pit, which seems absolutely amazingly safe for a kid's sort of play area, if you do ask myself. So we hop on this ski lift, and we press this button to then take the longest journey of the entire game to just sit here. We just sit here, and it honestly feels like an eternity. I genuinely cannot even lie, this genuinely took around a minute to just get across this place. Now by the time you finish God of War Ragnarok, you finally make it across the bridge. Now when I tell you across this bridge is the most tedious task in this entire game, actually scratch that, in the entire era of indie games that I've played, the most tedious task in all of them is the color game. You have to match each character to their specific color on the home screen menu. Bear in mind, the game intends you to take that ski lift all the way back, all the way forward, while memorizing the color of a character each time. No way, just look it up on Google, trust me, save yourself some time. Once you've matched each color to the specific character, you then get this little green light on each of them, which will then open this door, which will then reveal another keycard. Once you get this keycard now, stuff starts to get a bit interesting, as you notice the bird is following you in the most creepy way fashion. I'll give this to the game. This is actually pretty creepy. It got my heart a little bit upbeat, It was starting to do a light jog, as he stares you down and slowly creeps towards you. And now honestly, this is the best part of the game. Once you hop onto this little platform, the bird starts chasing you across in a sort of easy way. I can't lie, it was a bit too easy to get away from this bird, because as you can see, once I hop off this and press this little card, this happens. The bird just gets clotheslined by the edge of the platform and then sent into the abyss. Now once you've killed the bird, you then use that key card to then open this red door, which is at the end of the corridor, to then enter this little office room. Now I won't lie, it took me a little while to actually figure out what to do in here, but I noticed there was a red button, so I kind of just looked around until I eventually looked underneath the desk to then find another sort of key card activation thing, which then activates this button, which you then use your drone to activate the button, which then removes the floor. And as you can see, we have floating boxes in this game, guys. And that is innovative at its finest. Once this little contraption comes up from the floor, you then hop in and then click this little button, which then activates this sort of floor contraption thing. And it kind of just lowers you down into the abyss. I can't even lie. Kind of reminiscent of that place in Get Out, you know, when he gets hypnotized. It kind of sounds kind of similar to that. You sort of just chill until the lights start flashing red, and all of a sudden this massive green hand, looking like plankton out of SpongeBob, I can't even lie, grabs onto it, gives you a little smile, and then just slowly drags you into the abyss, which then ends the game. Now, I can't lie, it's not as reminiscent of Chapter 2 in Poppy's Playtime, but it kind of did remind me of when you crash the train in Chapter 2, you know, when it sort of just leaves you on a cliffhanger. It doesn't much of a comparison, but that is the end of the game. Now, do not get me wrong, for a free game, this is not awful, but there was one thing on the main menu which really surprised me, is that the fact they were selling merch for this game already. Now, do not get me wrong, this game is not bad whatsoever, but to be selling merch at €50 a hoodie and €10 for a sticker, it just seems a bit weird to me, and I do not understand it. Now, don't get me wrong, Poppy's Playtime does this as well with its merch, but the game has gotten a lot of attention, and I can't even lie, it was very innovative, and I honestly thought it was, you know, justified for having merch for how hype Chapter 1 was and how hype Chapter 2 was. Now, I haven't heard much about this game, Garten of Banban, until like maybe 2 weeks ago, and the fact there's already merch out just kind of surprises me. I don't know why. But, however, don't get me wrong, I'm not completely shitting on the game, but it's I don't think it's worthy of having merch already. I feel like it's being used as a cash grab. Especially for the fact that the one issue I had with this game, especially with having merch, it took me 15 minutes to complete. I will show you this recording how long the game footage file is, and as you can see, it took me 16 minutes to complete this game. Bear in mind that including that 16 minutes 44 seconds also includes the menus, opening the game, closing the game, and turning off the game to end recording. It would probably have taken me 14 to maybe even 13 minutes to complete this game, and you're telling me there's already merch? Compared to Poppy's Playtime Chapter 1, taking normally about 40 minutes to complete, which plenty of content, which then led to Chapter 2 being around an hour. Now, I just don't understand how a game you can complete in probably under 10 minutes, if you knew what you were doing, to be worthy of merch and already like being like shoved in your face with €50 hoodies and €35 tops. It just doesn't seem right to me. Now, don't get me wrong, the developers probably didn't expect this game to blow up as it did, but I don't know how long this game's been out for. I've only recently gotten to it now. It could have been out for ages and I just not know. But to me, I just think it's way too early to already have merch costing that much, because like I haven't seen many people talk about it. I've seen MatPat play it, and Dawko and Markiplier, but it's not like a huge phenomenon like FNAF or Poppy's Playtime were when they both dropped. Now, this game is free, so you can go on Steam and try it for yourself, but you can't call this a complete rip-off of Poppy's Playtime, because obviously you didn't pay for this, but the fact that the next game for Chapter 2 will more than likely cost money, I don't think I'll be picking it up. As long as it gets good reviews, because as you can see, it's got mixed reviews everywhere, and I just don't see this being as big as it is, and I personally think it's pretty much a copycat of Poppy's Playtime. Now, this game is free, as I said, so you can try it out yourself and really, you know, get the gist of it. I'd love to see how you think of it. And if you do try it, let me know how you thought about it in the comments. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash the like button down below. And make sure to subscribe for more videos like this. And yeah, see you in the next video, guys. Stay safe and peace. First shot of this episode. Tammy picks this house.
Oh, what about that one?
Now, if you ask me, that is the, worst house you can pick. It has wallpaper on the outside. It has